YouTube, back once again in the shed for your pleasure. I welcome you, and away we go, back with a review. And today I'm going to do one more Artisan Snuff, and I'm going to do, if you can see it, right, gotta do something about that glare. Artisan Snuff. There you go. Resolute. Yeah, that's one thing to fix on the next video. Yeah, I'm going to do this one, and then I've got some American snuffs that I think I'd like to do in the next couple of reviews, so I think that's where I'm going to go from there on, a little sneak peek into the future. But anyway, today, Artisan Snuff by Toque, Resolute. Yeah, if I remember rightly, when they first came out, I sort of spoke briefly to Roderick through an email and tried to ask if there was any sort of stories behind them and that. And he said, in respect to this one, Resolute, he said, yes, there was a story, but I can't divulge what it is. So that's as much as I know. But I choose to believe that the story behind it is really that Roderick and the Tote team have been secretly helping the governments around the world to bring world order and peace. And they've got like a little, SAS team, and Roderick sends them out on missions, and this was done in, as recognition of their resolute determination to. That's what I choose to believe anyway. Is it true? Does it really matter? I don't think it does. So anyway, down to the actual product, shall we? Okay, see if I can dust off them cobwebs. To look at, it is, the standard sort of fare for a lot of Toque snuffs is that, fairly light chocolatey brown colour. It's a fairly medium grind, I would say. Finer side of medium, but it is in the medium range. Moisture is, medium moisture. There's plenty of moisture in there. It's clumping up a little bit, but it also fluffs up really nice. It's not like that, where it's so moist it just wants to stick together. Yeah, I kind of like this grind of moisture. It suits me quite well. Right, let's see. Tin note. Right, off the tin, you're definitely getting the juniper and the apricot. I would say the juniper is a little bit stronger than the apricot. But, the apricot's definitely there. And I think it rounds it off quite nice. It works surprisingly well. Well, it may not be surprising to you, but, I don't claim to be the fountain of all knowledge. Let's jump in on a bump and see what she's saying, shall we? Okay. It's got a nice healthy burn, that one. Yeah, and as we know, I like a good burn. So for me, that's That's all good. But in the nose, again, straight away you get the juniper and the apricot. And then I would say the juniper is a little bit, is sort of like the forefront, and it's sort of rounded off with a bit of the apricot. And then you can pick up that sort of, once it's been in your nose for a little bit, you can pick up the jasmine coming through with like a nice little bit of like the floral sweetness. And that sort of, you know, that like enticing, I don't know, nice enticing sort of smell that jasmine has. Yeah, I think I quite like it. It's nice, this one. Let's go for bump number 2. Let's see if we can pick it apart a little bit more. It's easy to take. It's not sort of flying up and hitting the back of your nose or anything. You can easily take big pinches of this. But yeah, the juniper's like that. It's got that kind of like slightly piney, slightly sort of balsamic, sort of sappy smell. And then, you know, it's got a kind of like slight sort of citrusiness to it. And then the apricot comes in and sort of balances it off a little bit with a sort of, with that sort of fruity sweetness. I think they work together really well. Like, as the scents come together and merge into a sort of, you know, the full range of the scent. I'm struggling to get the words out today. But yeah, so you get the juniper. The juniper's, as I said, it's got that sort of slightly piney, slightly sappy scent. And then the apricot comes in with a nice fruity, sweet fruitiness, and with just a touch of sort of sweetness. And then as they both sort of die down a little bit, you start getting that sort of like floral jasmine note floating in and out, which carries with it a sort of sweetness to it as well. So it balances out the sort of, sometimes juniper can have a bit of bitterness to it, for me at least. So yeah, I think it all works together and melds together to make a really surprisingly enticing scent. I quite like it. Yeah, I quite like it. Number 3. As I say, it's easy to take. Nicotine, I'd say it's medium to high. But then again, I wouldn't take my nic ratings as gospel, because throughout having COVID and my illness, I've really not been smoking many pipes and not snuffing as much. So I do feel like my nicotine tolerance has dropped a little bit. So, you know, it may be medium high to me right now, but you know, a lot of that's subjective anyway, isn't it? But yeah, I like it. I think you know, the jasmine brings in a nice, warm, enticing scent to it. I like it. I like it. I like it, and yeah, I'd recommend it. I think I'm going to carry on using this one. I like this one more than I thought I was going to, in all honesty, so I don't see why I can't give it a seal of approval. Yeah. That's my take on the matter anyway. So I will leave it there in regards to the snuff, but I would like to just say one more thing, and I don't know if I'm overstepping the mark a little bit, but over on the Facebook group Nasal Snuff Takers, a valued member has sadly passed away. His name is Alan Brill. And you can definitely see that it's affected a lot of people within the group. But, you know, some people will definitely know him better than I did. But I'd had a few conversations with him since, you know, before I started the channel. Like, it popped up in a few of my conversations just when I joined the groups, you know. And, I don't know. Because I just got over COVID and he passed away because of complications of COVID, I don't know, I thought it was worth mentioning. I don't know, maybe I am overstepping the mark, but it just made me think, you know, from my few conversations with him that I did have, you know, you could tell that, you know, he was, you know, he was friendly, accepting, he had a healthy sense of humour, and you know, he was knowledgeable about his passions, and you know, what's not to respect with that. So I as I say, I think he liked menthols, and apparently he had a real affiliation for Red Bull. I didn't have any Red Bulls, but what I do have is some Tote Red Rag. That's as close as I could get to it. So maybe you'll join me if I can get the tin open. I'm gonna have a pinch to send him on his way. I send condolences to his family and friends. I generally mean that, because, you know, there's a few people that I've met since starting this channel, chatting on the Facebook groups, and I'm fond of a lot of you, and the conversations that I have and that mean a lot. So, you know, it generally made me feel sad when I see he'd passed away. So, Alan Brill. There you go. I will leave it there. No outro. Just a moment's silence. And, you know, be aware that time on this earth is short. So it's times like this and things like this that make you realise you've got to make the most of it, innit?